She wanted us to get in and tap into this particular sexual energy, because that is the last gateways that's open, is the tantric level. Now, in Randy O'Flaherty's book, they say that the gods are scared of Shiva and Parvati, which is Babylonia, or Babylon. When they get together, now all this is nothing but the inner nature of all of us. Because the energy is, you're going to find out that we are actually one entity, and we think we separated, but we are actually not local, or we are actually not foreign. It's one entity, but we can't see it because we keep thinking that we are different human beings and stuff like that and all. But in actuality, it's all one part of the same universe. All one part of the same universe and stuff. Because when I'm talking to her sometime, I tell her about my ex-girlfriend. She say, yeah, she's inside of me. I can feel her. The fuck? And then you understand the concept here, what she's saying, the goddess has all of that in us, or in you. You get where I'm coming from here? So it's all one, and you keep thinking it's separated. But you ever heard the word we are one? You see what I'm saying? So now, going right along in the book Shiva, the erotic ascetic, it says that when Shiva, which is nothing but horror, it's the stuff of Osiris that has been locked down for years. They say that Shiva and Parvati, when they get together and have sex, the gods go in fear, because they are nothing but two sections, two halves of the universe. Now don't you get it why the government says we cannot let the black man and black woman come together in any form of eroticism in the media? Because they know that when you come together, you see what I'm saying, and really know what you're doing, that you change shit. Because you say, well, wait a minute, hold on, I'm trying to figure this out, Bobby. How can you say me going into bed and bumping and grinding is going to change the universe? They're not talking about the dead niggas out there. They're talking about the conscious people. That's why, like one sister from San Francisco called, she said, I know what you're talking about is right. She said, because as soon as I became conscious, the men left. She said, this is one of the, I said, you know what's interesting? There's a big problem with conscious people hooking up, that we got to have a national registrar to get people so you can meet different mates, because you tired of meeting stupid mother. And I asked her, I said, well, what's wrong with the brothers and sisters that's in D.C.? She said, I can't fuck with these dumb dead niggas. There's got to be somebody in the consciousness. So the point I'm trying to make here is what they're not telling you here is, when you hook up on the conscious level and bump and grind on the passion level, you change the universe, because the penis or the lingam is one part of the universe and the yoni is the other part of the universe, and when they come together, they change things. But you keep thinking it's outside of you, but it's inside of you. So as a result, I had to figure out what this thing wanted, and what it actually wanted was, they say, look, it's like worldwide wrestling. It's like anything else. It's like role playing. You set up the combat that you want when we bumping and grinding as a form of warfare to counter the white man's warfare that he's doing physically. Do you just get what I just said here? I'm talking about something different now. Because before I said, even Dawood said, you know, they don't want you to bump and grind, you know, before he went crazy. This sicko. He done talked himself out of a damn conscious career. Nobody don't want to hear what he say. They said when you bump and when you rumble the sheets, something can come up the wrong way, but there's a science to it. The science here is this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the science on how this thing is done, to break it down to layman's terms. Let's say you want to effect something. Let me give you an example. Let's say you were wronged by the government. Something they done did that done got a nigga mad. Well, that's every day. All right? They done did some shit that got you mad, and ain't nothing you can do about it. What they're saying here is, go in and lay down your strategy on how you're going to whip his ass physically but you're doing it mentally. Rehearse your strategy, then go into the sexual zone and think about the same ass whipping while you're having sex, and you fuck this motherfucker up. See how it goes? You see the science? This is the sexual kung fu. You know how you ever just sat down and just want to beat a nigga ass because it done made you mad? And it might be somebody in another country, or it might be somebody too big, or somebody you don't know, but you just want to just beat they behind. And you sitting there, you ever sat down and you gave a nigga a real ass whipping in your mind? Anybody done this before? All right, you take the same energy, but when you plug into your energy, his energy is to fight physically because he's taking over the earth plane. And his whole life is based on what can I do physically to destroy. But your origin is that of a spiritual origin. So your power lies in the spirit realm. And the gateway to the spirit realm is between the lingam, which is the obelisk, and the yoni, which is the vesica. You see this on every church. I got a vesica in here. On every church, you see the vesica. Y'all all right? See, it's real simple. This is not entertainment. It's just real simple stuff we deal with now. No, that is not one. This is the vagina. You see what I'm saying? The vesica. The vesica. You see this on every church. And the obelisk is the penis. They're showing you how you rule your world through connecting with the lingam and the yoni. We know it has to be right because in the theater and in the cinema, the key is never to show black passion. See what I'm saying? Never to show black passion. And you can get a porno and see black people screwing, but it's a different thing because that's just raw fucking. The romance is not there. That's not even human in a way. You know what I'm saying? You can get the, so it's the in-between stuff that they don't show. They can show you in the pornos, but they can't show you engaged in a passion with a romantic setting. And then you fall off into some love. All right, the mystery here is, if his thing is physical warfare, and he goes around the world with his physical gun or his physical penis, you know, Chris Weston taught us about that. Only thing you have to do in this particular case is you set up the same strategy and warfare for it's to just start with the surroundings, your everyday life. You know what I'm saying? And you go in with your sexual kung fu, you do it in your mind, but when you do it through sex, it becomes real. This is how this shit is done. Or you want to set up the strategy to get your son out of jail? You go in and you write down it's like you write your script out. You rehearse your script, then you go into sex and go through the shit. And this is the way you will be able to bring forth your reality. Meanwhile, it's tearing down the physical matrix. You see? It's tearing down. So when she was coming, she was very violent. I saw what she was saying. Hey, look, man, we got work to do. I'm coming to try to show your ass how to fight. You see what I'm saying? On the sexual level. Now, you notice men, since you have the problem with staying up, once you tap into the sexual aspect of the kung fu in the particular aspect, is you got this role playing you're doing. You don't have to focus on the sexual aspect, so therefore you won't be busting no nuts that fast. You know what I'm saying? Because you got something else on your mind. You see what I'm saying? And it's a combination of both. But this is how they go in here and stuff. So we got to take stuff to the mental realm and go in and start fighting on a warfare thing, but you're doing the same thing that you're doing with sex. We do it in our, how many times you done killed a damn bunch of crackers? You ain't never did this shit, you go in there and all, you know, this. I done went into whole police precincts and ain't left nothing living but Negroes. And I wanted to kill them too, but I said, nah, we gotta draw the line somewhere. You know. You understand what I'm saying? So my point here is why not do that shit? You got a problem with fucking Amadou Diallo killers? Well, go to the precinct, but you do it through the sexual realm. Now the white boys been experiencing with this stuff, but they don't have the bloodline. Here's a whole book that just came out. This is a book called The Mysteries of the Great Cross of Hindale in France. And they're talking about the whole Merovingian bloodline, which is supposed to be the bloodline of Jesus. You saw the Merovingian in the Matrix movie. Well, the whole Mary Magdalene and the bloodline, this whole thing about France and the great mysteries of, it's called the Mysteries of the Great Cross of Hindale, Alchemy and the End Times by J. Weider, W-E-I-D-N-E-R, Weidner, J-A-Y-W-E-I-D-N-E-R, J. Weidner, and Vincent Bridges. And it's called The Great Mysteries. It says The Mysteries of the Great Cross of Hindale, or Hendaye, H-E-N-D-A-Y-E. And it's talking about that Merovingian bloodline of Jesus. And all this stuff that's supposed to happen, and they got all these cathedrals in France. But in actuality, that bloodline comes out of the Cathars, which is a Gnostic group from Egypt that set up stuff in the city of Isis, Paris, and set up a priesthood. They are Egyptians called the Cathars. That's where you get the word cathedral from the Cathars, which is a Gnostic group, later day Egyptian. So they're talking about a Camite bloodline, but that Camite bloodline traveled to the United States when the France settled most of the country with the whole Louisiana thing and all those particular states. So it's got a lot of information and stuff, and that's why they found a whole stela or a stone of Akhenaten teachings in Oklahoma before they even found Akhenaten's tomb in the late 1800s in the Akhenaten city. So now, going back to this particular science right here is, it's a form of sexual kung fu. It's a form of, but in this particular aspect, we're talking something different than what I was talking about before. We're talking about what you do is you go in, you plot your role playing out. So let's give you another example. Let's say your son goes to jail. You go in and you plot how he's going to be released from jail, and then you go to the bedroom and you make the shit happen. You know what I'm saying? Or you go in and plot a whole bunch of money laying on your floor. You go to the bedroom and make it happen. You see what I'm saying? Make sure it's U.S. currency, because when it comes to these particular energies, they get confused and they might give you some Confederate money. So make sure it is current U.S. currency. But